Vrindavane Govindastane Mahadevalaya Se Madhire Gopalera Mahasevahaya. In the village of Panchakroshi, Vrindavan, at the site where the Govinda temple is now situated, there was a great temple where gorgeous worship of Gopal was performed. Magyānati Mirandasya Ganang Jana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Upakada Mahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashari Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So just a little comment here. As it says that this temple was Govindastale. It is where the present, this pastime was a long time before Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the temple, there was a big, beautiful temple. And now there is a big, beautiful temple. So this helps us to understand the spiritual perception of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. They were so capable that they put this temple, otherwise their duty given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was to establish Vrindavan as it was. They didn't imagine, oh, let me put a temple here, let me put a temple there. By their spiritual perception, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he entered Vrindavan and he immediately found Radha Kund and Shama Kund. He knew immediately that this is the place. It was actually swampy land, with overgrowth, villagers, but he could understand. So this is the ability of the Mahabhagavat. The Mahabhagavat knows exactly what to do, where to do, and how to do it. And therefore Srila Prabhupada said, we should all take shelter of the Mahabhagavata. So anyone in this movement could be a Mahabhagavata, or they could be a Madhyam Adhikari, or they could be Kanishta Adhikari. But we know that Prabhupada is Mahabhagavata, and therefore we all take shelter of Srila Prabhupada. Next verse. Keshititta Kaliya Pradhagdike Kailasnana Shri Gopala Diki Ka Tahan Karila Vishram. After taking baths at different bathing places along the river Yamuna, such as Keshi Ghata and Kaliya Ghata, the pilgrims visited the temple of Gopal. Afterwards, they took rest in that temple. So this also illustrates, Srila Prabhupada said, that in Vedic culture, the temple is the center of everything. Nowadays, it's some big business skyscraper. Somebody builds a huge building, and that's the most important thing. Or SpaceX, where they send satellites up so we can all have cell phone service. But this is not. But in Vedic culture, and our duty as followers of our parampara and Srila Prabhupada is to reestablish this Vedic culture and make the temple. Here in India, it's a little easier. In the West, very difficult that the temple will be the center. Sometimes in many temples, we have Bhagavatam class, 3 people, 5 people. 10 people. If you get 20 people, oh, wow, big crowd. Some temples, I see, one temple they told me, we had 25 people for Sunday feast. So you can see what a great benefit you have here. But also it's a great responsibility. Just because people come more easily doesn't mean we sit back and think, oh, we're doing very nicely. No, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered everyone in India, you have to preach Krishna consciousness all over the world. So we have to prepare this whole country to take over the world. Not by nationalism, but by Krishna consciousness. So we all have a big reason, not that we sit back. Sometimes somebody comes to Krishna consciousness and it's very easy for them to chant japa, and someone else very difficult. But the responsibility is the same. We must continue to advance. When you stop studying, when you stop humbly serving, then there is no more advancement. So we don't sit back and think, oh, now I'm retired. Srila Prabhupada, 1976 in New York, right after Rath Yatra, Srila Prabhupada was coming down in the elevator, and devotees were seeing he was tired. He was beginning his illness that finally took away his physical body. But so the devotee said, Prabhupada, I think you need to rest. Prabhupada walked a few steps and he turned around and he said, just like Arjuna, I will die on the battlefield. Even a few days before he left this world, he wanted to go to Govardhan. Even a few weeks before he left, he wanted to go, a month before, he wanted to go to Gita Nagari and establish Varnashram Dharma. So this is our mood. Not that we sit back, now I will retire. No. Prabhupada said, do not imitate Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur never retired anyway. No. He simply chanted and gave us that example. So many examples are there. No. Some are positive examples, some are negative examples. But everything we should learn from, not condemn it or not praise it. Just learn and understand. Gopal Sandharya Duhara Mananila Hari Sukapana Rahetahan Dina Dvichari. The beauty of the Gopal deity stole away their minds, and feeling great happiness, they remained there for 2 or 4 days. So here it says, Mananila Hari, that the beauty of Gopal. So therefore, we call Krishna Manohar. He takes away our mind, Chitta Hari. He takes away our heart. He captures our heart. He captures our mind. We have to allow this to happen. Otherwise, Krishna means the most beautiful, the most attractive. But here it says, Saundarya, he was so beautiful. But materialistic people cannot see Krishna's beauty. Everything in Krishna is revealed. Krishna reveals himself according to the adhikar of the devotee. So otherwise people will see the deity as an object. Even sometimes as devotees, we do not see the deity properly. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when Jagannath was is in his anavasara, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu cannot see him. So when he returns to Jagannath Puri, the day before Rath Yatra, the day of Rath Yatra, King Prataparudra told the Puruchit, he said, anything that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wants, you do it. So Mahaprabhu said, I want to see the Lord. The Lord was in his inner chambers, and he had just he's getting his meal. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was allowed to come in with some of his intimate associates. And he stood there. He was seeing the eyes of Jagannath, just like the sun and the moon, arising in an ocean of transcendental bliss. And he could not take himself away. But sometimes we very ritualistically go before the deity, bow down, and then go about my business. But we have to learn, if we want Krishna to be Manohar and Chitta Hari, then we have to submit. We have to be very anxious, especially at 4:30 in the morning, very anxious. Mangalarti is very special, especially with Radha Krishna, because they are just coming back from their nighttime duties, and they're giving their darshan before Krishna has to go and pretend like he's sleeping, And Radharani has to go before anyone gets up, and just like they had been resting all night. So this is such a Krishna consciousness. It's not just, I'm getting some darshan of the deity. There is nectarian pastimes. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prabhu, Udila Aruna Purava Bhagi Dvijamani Goramani Jagi. He's getting up and inviting everyone to come and chant the holy name. This is what's happening. This is all lila. So text number 16. Dve vipra madhya eka vipra vidha praya ara vipra jubhatanga korina sahaya. One of the two Brahmins was an old man, and the other one was young. The young man was assisting the old one. So this is very important. The duty of us as young people is not to enjoy life. One time, one man was interviewing Srila Prabhupada, and he said, "Why are you making all these young people do all this religious stuff? That's for old age. They should be enjoying life." And Prabhupada said, "What is old age?" He said, "Well, 65, 70, that's old age." And Prabhupada said, "No. I say that old age means just before dying. That is old age." And he said, "Is that right?" He said, "Yes." So Prabhupada said, "When will you die?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "Maybe you will die tomorrow." "Maybe." He said, "Therefore you should take up Krishna consciousness." No. So the point is, we always have a duty to perform. And especially the elderly. The elderly are the most valuable members of society because they have wisdom. Of course, if it's an old fool, then not. But still, they must have some wisdom. They must have done something in their life. So we learn from them. This is culture. This culture exists in India, although now they're trying to give it up also. In the West, they just put the old people in some old folks' home, and then I can enjoy life. I remember in COVID, I remember during the COVID, I saw one article, and it said, women don't know what to do. Now they have to take care of their children. Otherwise all the women are working. So, I have to take care of my children. This is horrible. So this is the anti-culture. In Christianity, they have anti-Christ. And in the world, we have anti-culture. So our Krishna consciousness movement is to awaken culture, but based on Krishna. Not based on some Vedic rituals, but based on Krishna consciousness. So, next verse, verse 17. Chotta vipra kori sadha tangha sevan tanghara sevaya viprera tushta helamana. Indeed, the young Brahman always rendered service to the older one, and the old man, being very satisfied with his service, was pleased with him. So this is natural. Of course, we should be serving everyone. We should be serving every living entity. We should be serving every atom, because within every one of these entities, there is Paramatma. And therefore a devotee, just like Jad Bharat, when he was commissioned by Rahugana to carry the chariot, he was going like this and going like, because why? He didn't want to step on the ants. It is said that a sadhu is always looking down. Always looking down because they don't want to offend any living entity. Of course, there are some so small you can't see them. What can you do? Even the Jains, they put on masks. So this is understanding, respect for the living entities. So text 18. Viprabale tumimura bahuseva kaila sahaya hungha mori tirta koraila. The older man told the younger, you have rendered various types of service to me. You have assisted me in traveling to all these places of pilgrimage. Text 19. Putreo pitara oiche na kore sevan tumara prasade amina pailama shramam. Even my own son does not render such service. By your mercy, I did not become fatigued while on this tour. So, sometimes we think these bodily connections, my son, this is psychological and biological. But the real son, or the real relationship, is based on seva. Just like Mukunda. Mukunda had his son, Raghunandan. So Raghunandan, when he was a very small boy, Mukunda was supposed to make the offering. But he was a doctor, so he had some medical emergency. So he told Raghunandan, you must do the offering, make sure that Krishna eats. He said, yes, Father. So then Raghunandan, he was a young boy, 5 years old, he went on the altar and he took the offering and he put it on the plate. And he said, so, my Lord, so he offered prayers. He didn't know many prayers, a young boy. And so he was waiting, the deity is there. And so he says, so please, you take. My father said, I must make sure that you eat. No. So he's standing there. And he said, please, otherwise my father will chastise me. No. This is parampara. We should receive the order. We should be so determined to carry out that order that we will never give up. No. Utsaha nishchaya dhairya. No. Very determined. First there has to be enthusiasm. That enthusiasm comes from hearing and association with the Vaishnavas. Then Nishchaya. Nishchaya means having faith and having determination. Faith gives us a determination. And then dhairya, patience. But of course, Raghunandan, he's a young boy, no patience. No. So finally the deity got down and ate the offering. And then Mukunda came back and he said to Raghunath, so where is the Maha? There is no Maha. What do you mean no Maha? Oh, the Krishna ate everything. Oh, that's very nice. Nice sentiment. Where is the Maha? There is no Maha. So he went to his wife. Where is the offering? No, he brought back the plate empty. So Mukunda's thinking, he's a young boy, he could not have eaten all this offering. Maybe he gave it to monkey, who knows, what did he do? And he said, no, Krishna ate everything. So he began to think, who is my son? So he said, let us make another offering. He wanted to see, you offer one big laddu. And he made big laddu. So Raghunandan put it on the altar and Mukunda was looking from behind. And Raghunandan, he said to Krishna, now please, you eat, but this time you must leave remnants for my father. And so the deity took half of the offering and left the other half. And Mukunda saw this. And he offered his obeisances to his son. So later on, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, he saw Mukunda, and he said, who is the son and who is the father? And Mukunda said, Raghunandan is the father, I am the son. No? So this is spiritual relationship. Spiritual relationship, although we always respect elders, but someone may be very young, just like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very young, 24-year-old young man, and he was the elder, but he immediately understood. And first of all, he thought, he's a young man, he's very beautiful, let me teach him Vedanta so he doesn't, so doesn't get confused. But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught him Vedanta. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turned him into his disciple. So this is the real son. This is the real, our respect, our greatest respect should go to those who actually are surrendered to Krishna. This is sometimes we have like pecking order. No, this person is president, vice president, GBC, this, that. But the real order is, who is the most surrendered to Krishna? Who is surrendered to Shikshastikam, Trinadapi Sunichena, Torodi Vaseshnuna? This is the actual standard. So, the next verse number 20. Kritagnata hoy tomaya na korila saman otaiva tumaya amidiva kanyadan. If I did not show you any respect, I would be ungrateful. Therefore, I promise to give my daughter in charity. So now the young boy, Chota Vipra kahe, Shuna Vipra Mahashaya, Asambhava kaha kene je nahi hai. The younger Brahmin replied, my dear sir, please hear me. This is like he's very serious now, very serious. You are saying something very unusual. Asambhava. Sambhava means standard, and asambhava, very unusual, this situation. Such a thing never happens. Although it did happen. It did happen. Yayati. There are two types of antyaja, or mixture. This is called mixture. One is anuloma and the other is pratiloma. So anuloma means that the husband is more qualified than, sometimes between Kshatriyas and Brahmins there would be some interchange. But anuloma means the husband is a Brahmin and the wife is Kshatriya. That can work. But in the case of Yayati, it was pratiloma. He was a Kshatriya and the wife was a Brahmin. So, and it didn't work out very well for Yayati. He became an old man very quickly. So if we don't take care of our health, we can become an old man very quickly. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada told us to take care of our health. But he became an old man in 1 second by the curse of Shukracharya. And Shukracharya even warned him. Now this shows the power of material desire. And therefore Krishna said, Jayatam Vishaya Pumsam. Don't meditate on the objects of the senses, because they will bewilder you. Just like if a man sees a beautiful woman, then immediately he begins to think, how can I attract her? Of course, hopefully that doesn't happen to the devotee, but in normal society. But if he never sees the woman, then no attraction, no problem. And therefore, we should learn always to see Krishna, see the deity. We come before the deity, we see the most beautiful person. And when we see Krishna, Subhasa, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, he's Subhasa. He's the most beautiful dresser. And what's that verse? Bhushana, Bhushanangam. That actually Krishna is the ornament of his ornaments. Normally we wear ornaments, especially the ladies, but men nowadays, they also wear many ornaments. Try to look very nicer. You look better with your ornaments. Just like sometimes, especially in the West, people get married very quickly, and then next day they see each other. Oh, no, not so nice as it was yesterday. No cosmetics, no, hair's all messed up. Oh, what have I done? But Krishna, we see his beauty in the day, and then one time Srila Prabhupada said in Los Angeles, he was talking to the Sankirtan devotees. So he said, when you go out, take Gaura-Nitai with you in your heart. Because they don't want to stay here. They don't want to stay in the temple. Radha Krishna, they can stay in the temple. Sitaram, they can stay in the temple. But Gaura-Nitai, they don't want. You have to take them in your heart. And you take them out. And if you keep them in your heart, you will be able to distribute so many books. But if you leave them in the temple, then you'll be out there and no one will take a book and you'll become bewildered. And then you say, maybe I should be pujari. Maybe I should get married. Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do that. So we have to take them with us. And if we do that, then all the beauty in this material world will never bewilder us. Of course, Maya is working through all these different things, Discovery Channel, National Geographic. Look at these wonderful fish and this big beautiful mountain, this and that. But compared to Krishna, as Krishna says at the end of the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, what is all this beauty, everything you find, all opulence within the material world is just a spark of my opulence. Just a tiny little fragment. So we have to develop that by sincerely taking our darshan, sincerely chanting the holy name, then we will be situated, properly situated, and we won't be distracted by all these material things. So now this next verse deals with that. And this is the last verse we will speak in this series. Mahakulina tumi vidya dhanadi prabhina ame akulina aradhana vidyahina. You are a most aristocratic family man, well educated and very rich. I am not at all aristocratic. I am without a decent education and I have no wealth. So actually, he is following Shikshastikam. Nadana najana nasundari. I don't have all these things. He was the most qualified. But in the material world, dana jana sundari kapita. This is what everyone is looking for. These things. So Srila Prabhupada's purport. Due to pious activities, one can be enriched by 4 opulences. One may obtain birth in an aristocratic family, become highly educated, become very beautiful, or get a sufficient quantity of riches. These are symptoms of pious activities performed in one's past life. In India, it is still current for an aristocratic family never to consider a marriage with a common family. Though the caste may be the same, to maintain the aristocracy, such marriages are rejected. No poor man will dare marry the daughter of a rich man. Of course, nowadays that's become more popular. Maybe not so much of it. If I'm a poor man, I marry a rich lady, then don't have to work. No. Because of this, when the elderly Brahmana offered a young Brahmana his daughter, the young Brahmana did not believe that it would be possible to marry her. Therefore, he asked the elderly Brahmana why he was proposing something unprecedented, asambhava. It was unheard of for an aristocratic person to offer his daughter to a person who was both uneducated and poor. Of course, this Brahmin was not uneducated. No. Because what is real education? No. Krishna tells us, Tesham sataya yuktanam pachatam pittipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenaman upayanti te. Real education means real intelligence. The dhami buddhi yogam is buddhi yoga, is serving Krishna. So this young Brahman, he was serving the Vaishnava. Vaishnava. Obviously this Brahman was a Vaishnava because he was so attracted to Krishna. He was serving the deity. He had full faith in Krishna. So he may not have known so many shlokas or so many things. Also Gorkishore Das Babaji, he was not, he did not have so much education, knowing all kinds of Vedic mantras, but who took initiation from him? Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the most learned. Because knowledge can be very dangerous. Of course, it can be very wonderful. Any of these things, these four opulences, Queen Kunti speaks about them. Janmaishvara Shuta Shribir. That these are the four opulences of this world. She says they're dangerous. Edamana madapumam. They're dangerous because they may increase the fever of material existence. Samsara bishanale diya divavishi hivajvale. Shri Narottam Das Thakur says, this samsara, material existence, it increases the fever day and night. Day and night that fever is increasing. Srila Prabhupada one time, he explained that. He said, day and night I increase my desire for material happiness. This is how I am condemned. But generally it means drinking the poison of material existence. Day and night we are forced, when we drink the poison of material existence, we are forced to labor under the modes of material nature. So we have to be very careful about this. So, Naivarhat yavidhatum bhai. Twamakinshana gochara. Queen Kunti says, you have to be careful with these things. They can be very valuable. Srila Prabhupada, when he explains that verse, and we see it in the teachings of Queen Kunti, he says that everything in this material world is zero. Everything. So there are so many things, therefore there are so many zeros. But if you put a 1 in front of it, then all those zeros become, if you just have 1 zero, then you have 10. If you have 100 zeros, then you have millions and millions and crores and unlimited. So if we're born in an aristocratic family, the 6 Goswamis, they were all born in very aristocratic families, especially Rupa and Sanatan, very aristocratic, very, very high-class Brahmin family. When they were recruited by the Nawab, they refused. But the Nawab said, if you don't work for me, I will chastise all the Hindus. And therefore, out of compassion, they accepted this. But they were high class. But then they gave it all up. Raghunath Das Goswami, when he was leaving home, he kept trying to leave home, so his mother said to his father, we have to tie him up. He said, that won't do any good. He has the most beautiful wife in the whole region, and he's not even attracted for even tiny bit of attraction. So what good will tying him up do? He will simply become frustrated with us. So they were the most aristocratic, but it did not interfere with their Krishna consciousness. Actually, it became their qualification. Because of their sophistication, the 6 Goswamis were assigned to go to Vrindavan. And why? Because Vrindavan was under Muslim rule at that time. So, because Rupa and Sanatan had served under the Muslim leadership, they knew Urdu, they knew Islam, they could speak and they could deal. They knew how to deal with Muslim rulers. No. So it was very practical. No. They used their aristocracy to be able to uncover Vrindavan and keep Vrindavan safe. Of course, afterwards it was invaded and the Govinda temple was reduced down in size. You can imagine how great it was when it was first built by the mercy of Sri Rupa Goswami. So, Janma, Aishwarya, wealth. Wealth can be a great obstacle. But Yudhishthira had so much wealth, but he used it only for Krishna's service. Pariksha Maharaj, he had so much wealth, emperor of the world. Priyavrata, he became the emperor. And all these great devotees, they used their wealth for serving Krishna. In the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam it says, wealth should be used for building beautiful temples. So that's what we're doing here. You build a beautiful temple so everyone can come and take darshan of Krishna. And Shuddha, learning. Just like the Vijay Pandit that confronted Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He had so much learning, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu defeated him. And then he told him, take your learning and use it for bringing people to Krishna consciousness. Then his learning became very valuable. He gave up his elephant, he gave up his followers. And in a humble mood, with all of his learning, he converted so many people. And Shibi means, Shri means opulence or beauty. Also the beauty, either physical beauty or the beauty of having many qualities. It can be very bewildering. We can become proud. But if we use them in Krishna's service, then it becomes very wonderful. Just like the other day, someone sent me some, posting one Bollywood famous lady. She's saying, I want Bhagavad. Now I've got this this website, or this, what is it called? The new site that they have for people to get spiritual. You get all the Prabhupada's books and everything. Anyway, she was speaking about that. No, not beta. This app. Somebody made this app for, and then you get systematic presentation of Srila Prabhupada's teaching. So she was speaking about that, using her beauty. Everybody, she does it, I have to do it. Especially the men. They went, whoa. And of course, they may be thinking in a contaminated way. Just like people use beauty for advertising. Think, if I drink this Coca-Cola, I will have a beautiful man or beautiful woman. So, psychology. So, here we see, these things are coming from a past life. And I will conclude with this. One time I was in New York, I went into the shop of one Indian man, and I saw he was offering incense. He had a little picture of Lakshmi on his cash register. This was before computers, so they had a picture of Lakshmi. He offered the incense and put the incense in the tape that's holding the picture. So I said, you think that you will get Lakshmi by offering 2 incense and putting it in a piece of tape? You want to worship Lakshmi, you have to spend half of your money, at least. I said, this is your karma. This is just your karma. Don't think that this is... but if you worship Krishna, then Lakshmi will come. But don't worship Krishna just to get Lakshmi. Worship Krishna because that is your duty. He said, all right. He thought this is brainwashed. No. He's been brainwashed. He doesn't understand real Indian culture. No. So, but anyway, so we have to be very careful with these things. No. And therefore also, there's another lesson here, which is marriage should be done scientifically. No. Everything, this is the beauty of the Vedas. Everything, there's a science for everything. A science for getting married, a science for getting unmarried. Not divorce. It means vanaprastha. No. Vanaprastha means responsible separation. Divorce means irresponsible separation. Means this person is not giving me any more sense gratification. Therefore, no. Or the cost is not cost effective anymore. No. What I'm investing, I'm not getting a greater return. Therefore, let me get a new model. No. Just like a car, some vehicle, it gets old, you get a new model. So now in the West, and it's becoming slowly more popular in India. No. Why wait for vanaprastha? No. I can have at least 3 or 4 wives or husbands, and then I can do vanaprastha, and enjoy in the meantime. So this is the contaminated society. We're very fortunate. We see this example. This young Brahmin, he understands Dharma. And if we can understand Dharma, then our Krishna consciousness will flourish. So these are some thoughts on these verses. I will stop here. Any quick question or comment before we adjourn? Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there a microphone? Okay, no microphone. So you can speak loudly. What was that?
What is the duty of a woman in Krishna consciousness?
The duty of a woman is to surrender to Krishna. Because we are not man or woman. But externally speaking, a woman or a man, we can do any service for Krishna. But we also have a responsibility to maintain culture. So ideally, a woman should serve her husband. But ideally, a husband must serve his wife. Sometimes the husband thinks, she serves me, but I don't serve her. This is not proper. One young man who had just gotten married, he came to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, and he said, so we have just gotten married, please give us some instruction. Give your blessings, give us some instruction. He said, yes, here is my instruction. You must wash her clothes. No. You must cook for her. He wasn't expecting that. He was expecting, oh, she will serve you, do this and that. No. So he was saying that, no, sometimes, generally speaking, when their culture is there, the wife will be submissive. But the wife will not be submissive if the husband is not responsible. No. This is natural. This is what's happening in the West, and it will happen in India, unless the man is capable and responsible. No. But the woman, actually, the idea of marriage is that if the husband is a Brahmin, the woman serves as a Brahmin. But they do the same thing. Just like when Vibhandika, the great sage, who was the father of Rishaya Shringha, who performed the yajna for calling Lord Ramachandra to come down. So Indra was a little concerned. Vibhandika, he's doing too many austerities, he may take my post. So he went to Brahmaloka And he said, Lord, very quickly, he said, Brahma, I have to speak quickly because otherwise I'll lose my opportunity to enjoy. He said, I need someone to come. So Brahma has these very qualified ladies. So one of them named Harsha, he said, you go with Indra. And so Indra said, please, you make Vibhandika fall down. No, that was his idea. She said, I don't think he'll be fall down. He's so powerful, he may burn me to ashes, but I have to do it. So what did she do? She chanted mantras. No, she chanted them, and Vibhandika heard those mantras. I have never heard such beautiful mantras. So it's not that submission means not qualified. It means the woman must be qualified as her husband. Sometimes she may be more qualified. That may happen. No. Queen Kunti, who could be more qualified than Kunti Devi? No. Her prayers are among the most beautiful prayers in the Bhagavatam, so instructive. But she never said, "Oh, I'm a very great philosopher." No, she said, "We women, we are not such great philosophers. We're not such great transcendentalists." This is humility. So the duty is that they should serve together and serve Krishna very nicely. But the woman, if the proper culture is there, the woman will be a little bit submissive, but the man must be very responsible. Otherwise, then it creates so many problems. So this is why Srila Prabhupada said, our men need to be trained, to be responsible, to be learned, to be humble, to be caring, to be protective. And then the women will be happy. They won't want to take over the world like nowadays. So this is the duty. But the internal duty is everyone's duty. We simply want to please Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for this wonderful nectarian pravachan. My question is, what is sincerity and seriousness? How to understand it, and then how to imbibe in our personal life so that we can go more deeper in our practice?
Into how we become more deeply?
How to understand sincerity and seriousness, and how to imbibe this?
Yes. There's always one verse that I very much love in Bhagavatam, 2.8.4. This verse, Shinbatam Shradhaya Nityam. This is sincerity. That Shradhaya Nityam, Shinbata Shradhaya. You always hear with great faith. This is sincerity. I always want to hear about Krishna. And then the second part of it is the sincerity is seriousness. Grinatas cha swashrashtitam. That then you apply that sincere, what I have heard, you must apply it in forms of practical service. Srila Prabhupada said, 3 times I heard him say, he said, Tadvadi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. He said, first there is pratipatena. There must be submission. Then sevaya. Then you do service. And then prashna. Then you will know what good questions to answer, to ask. No. If you try to surrender and you ask questions before you do seva, then your questions will maybe like very bewildering. And so Prabhupada said, don't waste the time of the spiritual master. So these 2 things must go together: sincerity and seriousness. And that is the perfect combination. Sometimes devotees are sincere, but they're not serious in practice. And sometimes we see somebody very serious. I follow the 4 regulated principles. I get up at 2 in the morning. But he becomes a little proud. He's not hearing, and he's not hearing in the right mood. So pride arises. I do this, I do that. Because if you're proud of what you're doing, it means, I think I'm doing it better than everyone else. So this is how I explain sincerity and seriousness.
To Maharaj ji, for this wonderful and nectarian lecture. Please chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj ki jai. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.